I wanna love you in every single way, every day and night. Every night and day, I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. We have to tell it and we getting it on. Baby girl, tell me what you wanna do. Yeah, right. We can stop on the bed, bath and beyond. Baby girl, tell me what you into. Yeah. Cause every day and night, every night and day, I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. Every day and night, every night and day, I wanna love your body, girl, in every single way. Forever, my lady, like Jody said. You see your body keep controlling me, and I'm trying to get it popping like it's ecstasy. But your body should stay close to me. We gon' get it poppin', we gon' get it poppin' and soaking wet, fuck around. Got your girls, man, they all upset. Where you at? Where you at? Where you been spending time? Got a man, I always hit you up, but you not around. I be on not a man, I hit you up on the phone. I'm head down to pick you up, baby girl, when you all alone. I wanna call you up, but I can't do that shit. Come over here, baby, you the one I'm rolling with. You the one I'm fooling with. I spend the hours, 1,000 flowers and tuna fish. Baby girl, you the only one that I'm dealing with. I swear to God, the MC Hammer got you too legit. They didn't know that you my mama mia. Baby girl, you picture perfect like the Mona Lisa. Take you out to France, do it a little dance. Telling me that you love me, you posting it on the gram. And didn't know that you my mama mia. Baby girl, you picture perfect like the Mona Lisa. Take you out to France, do it a little dance. Telling me that you love me, you posting it on the gram. Baby girl, I got plans for you. Better yet, I made plans for two. Take your time, let me admire you. And baby girl, we get it poppin' like we supposed to do. We can stop from the stairs, girl, I promise an hour. After we done with charades, we can jump in the shower. I'll tell the world that it's yours, baby girl, that it's ours. Anything that you need in life, baby, I got you. Baby girl, you the one, boo. Cause you to be the one when times get tough, I turn to. Girl, I really love and I do admire you. You the one that I need. Yeah. Baby girl, you the one.
Yeah. It's about Casey no turn on the beat, oh, yeah. No. Give them. Yeah. Share go find your way, share we did today. Me, I'm not your fate. Now God, they bless my way. Mama said they talk. Wish my day for walking. Me, I never stop. Heading to the top. People just they hate. They don't they see my face. Every other day. Now joy they come my way. Jakula kula lamba. Kilo fe. Lo fe fe. Jakula kula lamba. Kilo fe. Lo fe fe. Talking about your sister, Tina Musu Jebe. Talking about your sister, Tina Musu Jebe. Jakula kula lamba, kilo fe, lo fe fe. Jakula kula lamba, kilo fe, lo fe fe. Talking about your sister, Tina Musu Jebe. Talking about your sister, Tina Musu Jebe. Yeah. Hey, me, I'm a bad guy. I'm not the waste down. No. She done live in my swagger. Say she won't follow come. No need, yeah. She call me Sadie. Kilo de baby, no give me congee. Be my honey.
I just need somebody to
It's Hamley Enterprises Limited, located at the Police Academy Junction. It's a shipping agency ready to handle your goods from China to Liberia. We handle all from our warehouses in China. No need to stress yourself. We take care of your goods. and you can pick them up from our offices at the Police Academy Junction. We also sell solar products and can order solar grade of all sizes for you, and installations are guaranteed by our technicians. We also do professional t-shirt printing for all occasions. Contact us on telephone number 0880-340-117 or 0775-374-480 or our WhatsApp number 678-386-2499. It's Hamley Enterprises Limited, your shipping agency, ready to serve you.
Baby from Dubai, we go Congo. Inside my condo, we go dance to Suazondo. Yeah. Just like
Makeup, they say, increases people's perception of a woman's likability, competence, and trustworthiness. That's why I introduced to you Major Millions Beauty and Market. Major Millions Beauty and Market has the best skin and hair care products. The beauty parlor also has hair accessories, including hairspray, hair gel, and hair dryer, makeup palettes, Major Millions customized lip gloss, shoes, bags, concealers, blushes, and a lot more. Guess what? Major Millions Beauty and Market has on sale well-packaged African products to include your favorite cuisine, cassava leaves, potato greens, palava sauce, palm butter, etc. Customers purchasing goods worth over 100 United States dollars will have free delivery once they are 15 minutes drive away from our location. Locate us at 10 Chestnut Drive, Elton, Maryland, 21921. Better still, call us on cell numbers 302-316-6813 or log onto our website www.majormillionsbeautysupply.com. Major Millions Beauty Supply. We move. Lopus Kitchen, a Liberian-owned business operated by Johnson and Wales University's trained chef Joyce Matowia, is your dining away from home. At Lopus Kitchen, we prepare all kinds of Liberian cuisines, including fried and rare oil potatoes green, kidney beans, palava sauce, fever leaves, and a lot more. We also make rice bread, meat pies, cookies, Benesi candies, and all kinds of pastry products. Place in your order online today from anywhere in the US at www.lorpukatchen.com. The good news is your package is sealed in an insulated cooling box and reaches your destination well preserved and fresh. Save yourself the stress and order the best from a professional chef. Lopus Kitchen keeps your fingers licking.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the program. You're listening to the Costa Show. You're watching us. Good morning and welcome to you. George, where's Bokai?
Good morning, cause Boga's on your way coming.
Okay. I hope he gets to work. We've had many days off. We have to get back and be very regular. Sorry, folks, I have some lighting issues here. One of my lights, my studio lights, for some reason is acting up. It doesn't want to come on. I hope I can sort that out. All right, folks, good morning to you. Good morning to you listening via one of our 6 platforms. If you're in Liberia, I want to say good morning. If you're in the US, of course, anywhere in the US, good morning. If you're in Australia, I believe it's good afternoon or good evening. South Korea, I believe it's good evening to you. The time in Liberia is 7:30 a.m. The time in Delaware, it's 2:30 a.m. And I'm very glad to be here. So the government has presented the budget, the draft budget, and they're bragging that this is by far the biggest budget in the history of budgets since the end of the war. $785 million. Now, even if we were gullible enough, stupid enough to be celebrating that the budget figure is massive, we will have to stop and think and say to ourselves, $785 million. But what percentage of that goes to infrastructure, goes to service delivery, goes to health care, goes to education? What percentage of that? Very little, unfortunately. You see, these guys think we're stupid. By the way, I have the budget, and we're going to spend some time, not today, perhaps beginning tomorrow, to look at the national budget and just discuss the budget so you all understand what's in it that they want you to be celebrating. We spend just around 89% or 90% of our budget on recurring expenditure. In fact, the World Bank, one of our big partners, recently said during the recent economic update, some event, the country director of the World Bank to Liberia said, Liberia spends just too much money on recurring expenditure. Gas, cars, paying for private jet for the idiot George we had to fly around. And so this is just madness. And then you've got this damn criminal, Samuel Twe, running around and saying, this is historic. What's historic about it? It's like your mom and pa telling you that they make a whole lot of money. And in fact, their bosses just increased their salaries at their respective places of work. And they're going to be making way more money than they made last year. But nothing changes for you. You still go to the same cheap, good-for-nothing school. You still, your diet at home doesn't change. They haven't bought you any new clothes, but they want you to celebrate that they have received raises. But here's another thing. How can you say you have the largest budget in post-war Liberia, and yet we haven't seen the economic indicators that have improved to justify that you're going to be able to raise this kind of budget? I don't get it. I don't know where they based where these numbers. Where do they come from? Where do these numbers come from? You know, these guys are so desperate to be seen as making progress that they would cast and do an unrealistic budget forecasting. They would come up with a budget amount that they know themselves that the economic environment does not support. Where are you going to raise almost $750 million, a little over $750 million from? The economic environment doesn't support it. I don't see new inputs that are going to happen. I don't see the purchasing power in the country to support increased imports, increased economic activities. We don't see it. People are catching hell. Then all of a sudden you say, you're going to make all this money. You're going to generate all this revenue. From where? Where are you going to generate $785 million in 12 months? I don't see it, folks. People are catching hell. How are you going to be able to do that? Well, they won't tell us. And they're celebrating it. Like it's a big deal. These guys have no sense. $785 million. Could you raise that in that country? I don't see it. But we will find some time, as I said to you, and we will look at the budget. Not today, certainly at some point in the week, we'll begin to do that. Now, let me say something to you folks. I apologize that we've been off the show for a while. There was a time when you would wake up at this time of morning and you would know that we were on. The consistency, the regularity, it's something that characterized our brand. We're going to go back there. And we sincerely apologize that we have not been on for a while, but we will go back there. And I just want to make that commitment to you. One of the reasons why we have been irregular had to do with our engagements for the last 3 weeks with former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai. We're glad that that has come to an end. He returned home yesterday safely to a very warm welcome. And so we're done with that chapter. So we go back to the matter, to our real job, our real job. I don't mean job in the sense that job that puts food on our table, but to the thing that we've been engaged in for the last 10 years, going on 11 years. Good morning, Boga.
Yeah, good morning, Costa, and sorry for being a little late. Due to the traffic this morning, but I'm here. It's good to be here with you.
Good to have you. I was just looking at this budget thing. Have you seen the budget?
I haven't gone through it.
Most people will not go through
it. Yeah, because
people have been sharing it around. You know me, I normally go through the budget, but unfortunately, I have not been able to go through it yet myself because I've been super busy. But I will begin to do that today. And then at some point, either beginning tomorrow or the day after, we will look at the budget. We'll go into it, we'll dissect it. We'll look at the key components, the key spending priorities. We will look at line items and all the things that did with it. We're going to look at that. Good. So we're going to do that. But there are a couple of things I would like us to address here. Just one thing really before we go any further. Yesterday, while running some errands, I did a podcast, an impromptu one. Just wanted to touch base with our people. And in that podcast, I spoke to a number of things, and I didn't call names. The reason I don't call names of these people, and they will talk 100 times, and then maybe one time I would, respond indirectly to them, and then they go running around and act like the world has come to an end. But they will be the ones calling our names. The reason we don't call their names yet, because we have greater currency, far greater currency than they do. Calling their names, the names of our detractors, even when we respond to them, it's something that would make them feel like we're in a competition of sorts, a tug of war. And that is something that's pleasure we're not going to give them yet. We're not going to do that. Who was this person who continues to write? So that's what they do. They would say all the rubbish. And then the one time we respond to them, we're all calling their name. Z, the man talking about me, because it's a big deal for them, Waka. It's a big deal. They want to create the impression that we are bothered by what they said, and we are responding to them. Really, many of them are people whose platforms we help to promote. When no one knew them, they used to beg us to come on their shows, and so that our followers would be directed to them, and it worked. And people have said to me, "Oh, Costa, you should be careful where you appear. You shouldn't lend currency or associate your brand with people. You shouldn't be helping people build their platform, because oftentimes they get to a point and say, I can frisk it. And they start thinking that they are at your level or they are bigger than you. I mean, Baka, you have warned me about that so many times.
That was just where I was coming. I have warned
and
you
you're right.
warned over and over about, appearing on other shows, because you have built up a brand and people want to capitalize on that to get to where they are. And once they get there, they start to buy more of you and start to grow wings and say, oh yes, we are not equal. I want you over. Normally when you are on a show, I will tell you, stop appearing here. Don't go on this show. Don't do this. Normally, that's what we do in our inboxes. That's what normally I tell you. I say, Costa, I know you are a political figure, you are this, but there are certain things that you shouldn't do. Because once you do it, it's try to make other people to think that you guys are at the same level. Once they reach that 200, 300 views and you appear there, because once you appear on any show, your followers will say, oh, Costa appeared on the show today, so I have to listen. And if you leave from there, the next day, they will say, oh, at least that man was talking something. Then Costa was there, you were talking something positive. So let me go back there and go listen today again. So that's how their shows start to grow. And you've been helping them a lot. And continuously tell you, and not only me, all the messages I've been receiving,
a lot of people tell me directly, and a lot of other people told me through you, of course.
Mm-hmm. Our mothers will tell me now, oh, please tell Costa to stop appearing on shows.
I agree,
every day.
Listen, I'm just the sort of person, I believe in sharing. Whatever it is I believe in sharing it. When God has given you a gift, you have to share that gift with the word. And people have come to me to do so many things for them. Sometimes to attend their events just so they can get attention. Sometimes to help them with their shows just so they can get people watching. And I do that because I feel that the stage is big enough for us to share, Wakai. But you see, when you live in a world, Wakai, where the people are not as good as you are, they're not as well-intentioned as you are. And while you are trying to help them, give them legitimacy, give them currency, they're thinking that they're trying to take over from you. And so I'm just a giver. I believe in sharing. And who say I didn't know why they were constantly inviting me on their various shows? They were constantly inviting me on their various shows because they wanted my supporters to watch them. They wanted Henry Costa appearing on our show. That's what they wanted. Why do you think they always beg me to go on their show? That's why. And then at some point, they decide I can big and bad. I just look at them and laugh. But Wakai, I knew exactly what it was I was doing. I was helping them. All these shows that act today, like they're big and bad. You all know this. I made some of you begin to even watch them. Most of you, not some, most of you. But what they don't realize is some of them were just started 1 year ago or a year and a half ago. A lot of people don't even know that they exist. We've been around for 10 years, going on 11 years. I meet people all the time. Some of them will tell me, oh, I started following you 2 years ago. I started following you 3 years ago. I started following you 4 years ago. That means, even though we had been around for years, 10 years, some people didn't even know we were around, Baga.
Sure.
So it took some people 6 or 7 years before they started following us. Do you think people know you now?
No.
It takes a long time. You know? And then I always try to tell them, Baga, you're not doing what we do. Just because you are on Facebook or you got a radio station and you relay on. By the way, the reason we don't have a radio station, we've been in radio before, all of them. When did we build our radio station, Baga? 2014.
Yeah.
By 2014, we have our 25 employees, right, Baga?
25, yes.
You were director of radio. Before somebody even saw what the inside of a radio station looks like, you were director of a radio station.
Sure.
We had a news department. That's where Fidel Sadie them started.
Yeah.
We decided to call up the news department because, of course, the guys are running seeing news stories 2-3 days in a row. Old news, you know. And then Fidel was very resourceful, so we decided to move Fidel somewhere else. But we've been doing this thing for a long time. And you think by starting yesterday, you can be like us? Are you kidding? You're wasting your time. And you know, I always try to tell them, we do advocacy. We inform the people. We don't come here to lecture or to sit around and fool around. We speak in a way. The reason we hold sway and influence that you don't have and might never have is because we have earned the people's trust over the years. They have seen our weaknesses. They know our strengths. They know our mistakes. And they've learned to embrace us and to accept us. Why do you think we're international? We host people on a show that the BBC will write a whole story on. Remember the old lady who called in one day and was talking about her husband's pension she couldn't get? And we raised all our money for her and set her up in business, and the BBC picked that story up. You remember the old lady?
Yeah.
The things we've done, come on. So all of a sudden, because we want to use show, and so now you think that you're big and bad. You're making a mistake. You don't have any influence. You don't. We have a different agenda. Our agenda is to educate, inform, and recondition the people's minds to think in a certain way. Have we not done that to a large extent?
Yeah.
We built an army of Liberians that think in a different way. How do you think we were so successful in staging the largest peaceful protest in the country's history with no act of violence on June 7th? You think it happened overnight? Liberian people don't like the protest. Why? Do we not know that?
They don't.
They don't. But why did they come out on June 7th? In such large numbers. Was that protest called by any 75-year-old or 65-year-old man? No. It was called right here by this Costa Show. Some people say, oh, you know, when some people want to take credit away from you, they say, oh, anybody else could have called a protest and the people would have come. Why didn't anybody else call a protest? Why, guy?
That's the problem.
Some people, when they want to say, oh, man, black wait, man, and anybody else could have done what you did. Why didn't that person do what we did? But don't get it twisted. I keep telling them, we're not on the same level. Now, this other idiot who I helped build, are appearing on his Facebook thing. By the way, I keep telling them we're not just a Facebook show. We're on 6 platforms. Name them, Boy. Name the platforms. So maybe the thing will Facebook. Which Facebook talk show got studio in Liberia?
Mm-hmm. We are on YouTube. We are on YouTube. We are on SoundCloud, MindTuneIn, the website, and TuneIn.
Yeah.
Mantura, a lot of platforms. Even the Facebook is just because even Facebook, if you finish on Facebook, you'll see sometimes 30, 40,000 persons following.
This is just one of our platforms.
Yes, this is just one.
We're on 6. But what I will say this to you. I will say this to you. The other day, I was doing something, I don't know what. And somebody tagged me in a live podcast of this joker. And again, I will not call his name because that gives him a lot of satisfaction. Then they start thinking that we're in competition, really. And this joker said, what is Joe Barker doing with Costa? The likes of Costa influencing Joe Barker, or they're working with Joe Barker, it just discourages. He said now they're trying to start condescending. You know the thing that's painful? Somebody who you're way better than, way smarter than, way more important than, is trying to act like he is better than you. But can you imagine? Some kind of pee pop is sitting down there trying to talk down to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just annoying. And he's there talking with ugly English. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What is Joe Barker doing with the likes of Costa around, the likes of John Lobo? This envy, this envy that you are not there, so you're pissed that your friends are there. He would wish that he had that proximity to Joe Barker. But he doesn't. He doesn't have proximity to anybody because you're not important. That's why you don't have any real proximity, because you are not important. Simple. And now you get mad. Why would Costa be chair of Joe Barker's visit to the U.S., be chair of the steering committee, and blah, 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 blah? Why is it not you? Because you are not important. You're not relevant. That is why it is not you. So you wish it is you, and because it is not you, then you get angry that somebody else is there. Look at the guy. This is the guy who sits down there and he's saying all this nonsense about Costa. I don't respond. I just laugh it off. And so yesterday I'm doing this little touching base or checking. I was just checking in with our people. And then I just said, look, you know what? Let me just say this. Without calling his name, and I'm still not going to call his name yet. I said, don't get it twisted, dude. We're not on the same level. The word knows us. Who knows you? It took us 10 years to be here. 10 years. And then you sit down there, you can't even speak English. Go speak Mandingo instead of speaking English. Oh, the man runs away. Okay. He said, I'm being tribalistic.
Yeah, I saw his post this morning, and I went on I'm
being tribalistic, me, against Mandingo people. You think when you play the stupid tribalistic card, that it will make my Mandingo people who love me turn against me because of you? You think Mandingo people don't know what a friend I am to the Mandingo community? You think Mandingo people don't know that I've sat on this show and championed the rights of Mandingo people? I've called for a holiday to be established for Muslims, most of whom are Mandingos, on this show. Something which many of my friends would tell me, don't say it, Costa. It's a political risk. It's a very risky thing to say. You may lose political capital over advocating for such a thing. And you, Bwaka, my co-host right here, is a Mandingo man. We have tons of good Mandingo people working for us, and you think you're gonna? You see how weak he is, trying to play the whole tribalistic thing. Oh, the man calls them. What do we say to John? We are all the time. Somebody say, "My man, Bwaka, go speak your tribe, man." When you're telling somebody to go speak his tribe, become a statement, a tribalistic statement. And then you got those other guys who sit on their platform, spoon with 6 different people on one platform. You add the guests, they're 10. And they sit on there, it's just annoying. The same thing with spoon. Every day, Costa. I mean, you run a platform, all you do, you just talk about Costa. You and your 10 people on one show, and you just talk about, oh, Costa. Costa said, and you know, the annoying part is they sit down on their show, and every day they find something to talk about Costa. I don't know the thing that they can discredit me. Is that their agenda?
That's it.
Does Spoon Talk believe that when they talk rubbish about me, they will discredit me in the eyes of the Liberian people, then they take over? Yes, no reason why Spoon Talk would never take over. Most of you are leaning towards the government or very soft on the government. When the government people come to America, you all run to them and go take pictures with them and be laughing with them. You all be protecting the government. That's why, let me just tell you guys, you cannot be Costa because you have a big government-leaning agenda. You want to be friends with all the government people.
Yeah.
That your men, when they come, you can go take picture with them, have dinner with them. You post the picture all over the place. You're praising them. You're doing all that kind of thing. You can't. So you come on at a very convenient hour, late in the evening, Liberian time and American time, Waka. It's convenient for people to watch because there's nothing else for them to watch. And so you think you can make it your agenda. Every day you find something. Oh, yeah. You know, I need to respond to these guys too because they think that they can discredit me. Oh, okay, in order for us to be way up there, so let's find negative stuff every day to talk about Costa. And then so that the people can look at Costa bad. No matter how badly I perform, you can never take over from me because everybody knows that you are government leaning, you're government friendly, and that's why they let you operate the way you operate because you are not a threat to the government. The government doesn't bother you guys because you're friends with Samuel Twe, you're friends with McGill, you're friends with all of them. Why do you think they will bother you?
Yeah, because if they think they can make it to you, let them tell the government to just give you a frequency. Then let us see who be man.
Yeah, get my radio station. Then we'll know.
Let us see who be man in Liberia.
Let the government get my radio system back.
Let them operate 3 frequencies. Let them just give us one.
One.
Just one. And it should be local frequency that nobody know about. Say where it can be hard to catch. Then we'll
in 1 minute, we'll make it the most popular radio station in the country.
Liberia. Yeah.
Come on. I mean, all day they sit there. I don't understand. I decided to address this today. All day you guys sit on that show. Costa said this one. Costa, am I a newsmaker? Are you not supposed to be talking about important things in the country? Oh, no. They can't talk about those things because they got to protect their friends in government. They can't make them feel bad. So Costa is your subject on Spoon Talk. Huh? That's it? All day they're trying to find something to talk about Henry Costa. Because in their twisted minds, and I have friends there, and it's unfortunate. I've never wanted for you to deteriorate to this level where I have to be responding to them. They've always said nonsense about me that I've never responded to. But today I must respond to them. It's very disappointing because this is just absolute nonsense. Then they sit there to be attacking Joe Bwaka. After what you saw, what Joe Biden has done in America, all the things, they will still find them. The other day they had this idiot here, Eugene Falcon, talking about, I told Joe Biden to the barber shop in Philly to cut his hair, or Joe Biden told me, went behind me to cut my hair. And they're saying that this is what these guys will be talking about. That Joe Biden went to a barber shop in Philadelphia with Henry Costa. That's the thing they're on the show talking about? Seriously? Huh? This is crazy. But this is my last time ever going to respond. Because you're always talking about me. You're always talking about me. But today I'm going to respond to you. You are not at our level. We saw that in America. We sent 1,000 people went on the streets because we asked them to. You can't do that. We call the largest protest in the country's history on our platform. Nobody else has done that. We were recognized by Africa Report as the 33rd most influential African alive. You are nowhere there. We're getting interviews from the BBC, Al Jazeera, the South African Broadcasting Corporation, VOA, you name it, all over the world. You're not there. And I keep saying it. You guys are doing a good job. You do interviews with 10 panelists on one show. It's just me and Waka here.
Mm-hmm.
You're 10.
Mm-hmm.
But stop this thing. It's annoying. I have to publicly respond to it now. I have to. It's disrespectful. We're not at the same level. You don't have the influence we have. You might never, ever get it. Never. You need to stop this. All day, so you got all about talking about, hey, he hates the Mandingo people. I hate Mandingo people. Something wrong with you? I hate Mandingo people. The Mandingo people say, I don't even believe you. The youth chair of the COP is a Mandingo man. My mother was married to a part Mandingo man. From Saclay, Mano Mandingo. Then you walk out and talk about, oh, Costa hates Mandingo people. Nonsense. You get out, you talk nonsense because you wish you were in the space Costa is. You wish you had the proximity Costa has to Joe Boakai. Everything Costa does. Costa goes to the barbershop with Joe Boakai in Philadelphia. Oh, man. And Spoon talk, get that topic for them. Costa wear white shirt, that topic for Spoon. Is that all you want? You got to talk about? Henry Costa? You think it's going to help you? You can't bring me down. You cannot bring me down. So stop hiding your head. You just coming out if you there, you think you can discredit me in the eyes of the Liberian people? You can't. You do you. Do what you do. I don't have a problem with what you guys do. You're 10 men on one show, but what, 9 men with 1 woman, And then you invite guests and interview them. That's what you do. You do interviews. We don't do that thing here. How often do we bring anybody here to interview? In fact, when people come on the show, guess what? By the time we bring guests to interview, the people won't leave. Our fans don't even have patience for any type of guest. It has to be a very special guest that they are interested in listening to. Because they come here not to hear some government official and lying like Samuel Tuer talking nonsense. We don't do that nonsense. We don't do interviews. I needed to address this thing with Spoon Talk publicly. I used to go on a man show like 2-3 times a week. They used to invite me. Oh, Costa, come on the show. Because I used to even share their live videos while they were on. Why do you think I did that? I did that because I wanted to help to promote them. And then every day now your topic that Henry Costa. Costa took Joe Biden to the barber shop. Costa says something negative about Mandingo people. I mean, that's nonsense. You better stop that nonsense. Then they be talking, yeah, we are the biggest platform now. What's your influence? What have you done? tell your friend Samuel Twain and McGill to give our radio station. Then we'll know what's up. All the Oman in Watersa, Douala Magé, Point 4, all the areas that is a call. Let it get station by, then you will know who be man.
Who be man?
In the morning time of the day, you driving around in Liberia, in traffic, all the cars playing Costa Show.
Sure. Yeah.
You think that small power we got? That don't mean the government afraid of us. They can let us be on radio. They can let us be on radio because they are afraid of our voice. Because of the power that God gave us. But this is a mess. Y'all need to stop. We're not competing because we don't do the same thing. We don't do interview. We are not an interview show here with 10 panelists. Y'all need to stop. Every day that Costa and Joseph Wagner are the topic. It's annoying. I've never publicly addressed this spoon talk issue because, you know, when you call people your friends, you expect that there will be some kind of modicum of respect there. You know? But when your friends who you help to promote think that they're bigger than you now, and they can try to trash talk you or try to discredit you so that they can be on top, you've got to deal with it. And that's what I'm doing here today. You need to stop. You all need to stop. There is no competition yet. You don't do what we do. You never raise any issue about what's happening in the country.
Costa, the guy take you from what we say here every morning to make it a subject on a discussion.
But that's where they get their topics from. They all get their topics from right here, the Costa Show.
Yeah. Anything we discuss here in the morning, they make sure, if we talk about somebody, they make sure they bring that person on their show.
That's another thing they do. By the time we talk something about somebody, the person becomes their guest.
Their guest.
So they can have to promote the person or to dilute what we say.
Yeah.
All the people who don't like us, for very good reason, because we deal with it behind, that's where they run. You better start letting, we've been doing it for 10 years. We are experts in this business. Experts. The following we got, y'all ain't got it. Y'all cannot get it. You can't lay in the evening, people not doing nothing. They are relaxed in Liberia at 8 p.m. Focus it on the watch it. But this is wrong. I would have never spoken to this, but yesterday was just annoying, and I felt trying to pin me like a travelist. You got stupid Isaac Doe who even know what a damn talking about. I'm a racist. Do you know what racism is? So now when you talk about when somebody say go speak your dialect and the person is a racist, is that guy a different skin color? Racism has to do with the person's skin color. You son of a swine. Ain't no matter Isaac Doe who can't even speak English well be telling me about how he ain't let us talk about Costa because Costa doesn't even fit in the intelligentsia. You have an idiot of a boss in George Bia who he know he left from his right. And that your God that you worship. And you walk out, John William said, John William not even reached to a small toe in terms of intelligence. That the man you worship. Then you walk out, sit down there and tell me nonsense. Talking about, you can't even dignify Costa. You talking about racism. You know what I call racism? And the stupid boy was just in the whoa. It's a racism. And I raise racism. And the man talk about the man tried. After the man go speak your dialect. What? You don't speak English, go speak your dialect. That the racism there? Talking about Costa, I hate my dingo people. You think when you say that, then you attend and my nigga people again Costa. Something wrong with you? Yeah, I said don't speaking. Hey, you let them about book business, boy. They think I made me bad. They make it even pronounce it correctly. Doesn't even make sense. Talking about Costa is a racist. I tell you, man, that thing is annoying. Stupid people. You're not on our level. BBC know you. CNN know you. Al Jazeera know you. Deutsche Welle International know you. VOA know you. South African Broadcasting Corporation know you. Oh, Bugger, I'm going to keep naming.
But the minute I know Joey, they can interview Joey, then Joey pop in and they would interview.
And Opa. We're not on the same level. Africa Report know you. Y'all better stop. This is annoying, man. We're supposed to be friends. Have some respect. I help make your platform. Because I don't do the jealousy thing. You know? But you gotta stop that thing here. Every day Costa your topic. I go comb my hair somewhere, that topic. I do the one here, that topic. Y'all better stop. We're not on the same level. Y'all don't get it twisted. We're not on the same level. Radio station. I own radio station before you own radio station. I had radio station in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
When nobody knew your name, like bro said, I had radio station.
Sure.
2014, we own radio station on Ellen Johnson's elite. She shut it down in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all sit down there, y'all be talking. Y'all stop that nonsense, man. Y'all just stop. I beg y'all. All right, boy. Listen, so we're going to move on to something else here. We're not going to, this morning, we're going to have a gentleman will join us, a fine young man. He will be our guest this morning. Like I said, we don't do interviews here. Once in a while when it's very important. I went to Dallas, Texas the last time for the COP Dallas lunch. And I met this young man. Very impressive, brilliant. Went to school right there in Liberia, Stella Marie, studied engineering. And he came to the US and he's been doing very well. In the engineering field, wow guy. He's working in that same field, yeah. You know, involved with some major projects, and it's just fantastic. So I said, look, my man, come on the show. You know, and you know what? One of the things that really impressed me about this young man that we will have on the show shortly is that, you know, many of our people, you know, when they acquire skills in Liberia and education, when they come to the US, many of them don't even try to work to pursue their career in that field of their training. Because some of them think that the education they got from Liberia, you know, to a large extent, it may be substandard, you know, but Bwaga, it will surprise you to note that sometimes that education is still good here. And that is exactly what Jackson Jala Yoko has proved. You know, his education has proved to be good, and he's doing good here with that. So we're gonna have him on in about 20 minutes time. We will bring him on, just talk to him about some of the things he's engaged in here, just to a large extent to inspire and encourage others like him who acquire education back home, especially in a technical field. This young man is an engineer, and it's a good thing, and we're gonna speak to him shortly. Now, Baga, you know the guy who's the head of the drug enforcement agency? I'm not gonna say you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I know the kid, right? And I say kid because I'm older than him. And he used to be one of my diehard fans when Citizen used to love me. Baga.
Sure. Yeah.
He was one of the citizens that used to love Costa before they became what they have become, right?
Uh-huh.
So this young man, I just have a warning for him. He's the head of the drug enforcement agency. Yes, and they let money they get in from, how you know what they've been doing, right, boy? They can confiscate drugs. What do?
Sell the drugs.
They resell the drugs.
Yeah. I like to say they having it, they pour white powder together, they say that drugs again.
Then is it the disposing of it or the burning it? All right.
Yeah.
But let's see, all right. So the beginning here now get beat with a little drug money he getting. Now one of my men in Georgia, Atlanta, that the man woman running behind. I'm just warning you, my begin Maka say you. My begin Maka say you. Now your drug money. What you think is there? Your head now get beat. Now you think you people. You running behind the man's wife. That not man getting with the man's wife. Boy, try to. I mean, boy, you gotta respect it. No, you don't go try. You want somebody's wife, for Christ's sake, their wife. Yeah, but the woman that got you see the nigga house. The woman husband guy in Georgia. Don't go like bro, you don't get a woman with the drug money, drug money because the night salary. How much they making down there?
Not much.
They exactly like you want bust the woman head. Ain't no one like man say you want bust the woman head. I can get bad money now. I can't be picking you. The Jews that need to understand. Maga say you that picking all that gap in the other day. That drug money now you want to spoil the man home with drug money. Eh? Then a couple of weeks ago we were talking about them. You remember that report we read at those guys they fired the DA officers, they wrote a report to the Senate.
Yes.
Explaining how the men operating the whole system. When they raid the drug dealer there, they take the drugs and sometimes they will resell the drugs to the very dealers.
Yeah.
That they raided it from. My people that go tell my God say you it. If you don't move from behind my man, woman without your drug money, you want to come for you, it will not be easy. He actually won't bust it to here. You know some men they ain't like bro, especially government men. When they making all this stolen money, when they see Jew in for America, they won't bust it Jew here, they want all to get money. You know, I mean, they think when I heard the thing, I got so mad. Because I knew the beginning from before he was even DA boss. Now he don't want to run behind somebody's wife. Trying to act like he won't bust a woman head. My God say you better move from behind the man's wife. If you know what I know, you better move from behind the man woman with your trust money. Talking about you can take care of her better than you know the car the woman driving in America, the house you living in Atlanta. Can't talking about you can take better care of the woman than her husband. But I look at that kind of bylaw. What drug money,
Many need to spend on the man.
Let him go spend it on the local getting like bro who need it. Move on and single women too. Move on behind a man married wife.
No, but cause how will the men get mad now that the men stay beyond local level? The men want to go high class.
No, but they got high class single women. Okay? Don't go for a high class married women. Go get a good family with your drum money. If they're not good money, sell. Fruity money. Cooking money. That's the kind of thing you want. Look, and y'all let Maga say you go tell you. Y'all go tell you. Let him carry drum money on that side and look for single women. Let him move and be my man woman. Because that one shot and I'm getting one warning. You not go look for different people spending your drum money here while open your sea. Anyone can say sea, my whole closet. The whole discussion I will have on you here. Yeah, because Joe, we are not care that you selling drugs. You can raid a drug, then you go sell a drug. He ain't care. But that move be my man, woman, will draw money. That's my advice to you. All right. So, Baga, we'll take a few, about 3 calls. Then we'll take our guest, Mr. Jackson Jala Yoko, a fine young Liberian educated at Stella Maris Polytechnic. He is an engineer, and he's been resident in the United States for a few years now. And let's take a few calls, Baga. Before you do, let me take. He's a young Liberian, 35 years old. He's a civil engineer. He's been working as a civil engineer for the past 10 years plus in different areas of civil engineering in Liberia. And today, he lives in the U.S. state of Texas, in the city of Dallas. He has worked in the water and sanitation sector in Liberia, road design and construction, project management, and now heavy infrastructure projects that are U.S. federal government funded. He's passionate about sustainable infrastructure through quality control engineering. He's developing a career in heavy infrastructure with focus on transportation construction. He has presented about pool sanitation in Monrovia, a case study of Claratown at the University of Oklahoma International Water Conference as international guest presenter. He is a proud graduate of the Stella Maris Polytechnic. And so we will be speaking with him very shortly. Take at least 2 or 3 calls there, and we'll go and take Mr. Jackson Jala Yoko.
All right, so the phone lines are open on 0770-102-102, 086-010-383, 055-102-102. The WhatsApp number is +231-888-624171. We can take 5 calls. Then we wrap it up on today's edition of the show. Yeah, not wrapping up, but we'll take our guests. Sorry for that. Yeah, that will take our first caller on this line. Good morning. Okay, we mess up on our caller 0770-102-102. The WhatsApp number is +231-888-624171. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Baka. Good morning, Lilo and Pedro Costa. This is Sriki Kumar from District number 2.
Sriki, welcome.
Yeah, I heard Lilo speaking this morning concerning about his last video yesterday to Sekou Kene. You know, I listened to Spoon Talk last night. You know, Lilo, you don't need to dignify those people. Because we know you, we believe in you that you're not a troublist or a racist. We know that very well. Because if you tell someone that go and speak your tribe, you cannot speak good English, that is not an attack to Mandingo people. And let's be real here. Lilahem Costa have been good to some of us and all Mandingo people in this country. So for Spoon Talk to just dignify him as a troublist, they were wrong. And I don't think Lila need to dignify those people. Thank you very much. Thank you for the hard work you keep doing for the Liberian people.
Thank you so much. 4 more calls in the line. 4 more person. Let's take Mr. Valley from Waterside. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
And just hold on, Mr. Valley. All the folks that are calling are all Mandingos. The first person is Mandingo. The second, yeah, Mr. Valley, let's go ahead. Muslim, let's go.
Yeah. So, brother, what my brother was saying, we are Costa is not relation, and what Costa said, it was 100%. I listened to Spoon Talk Show, and I cancelled to listen to Spoon Talk Show never in my life again because they want to finish relation in our country. I saw when last time I don't know that Madingo have been attacking this country. When last time I don't know that. Every day, when this people were captured in Katara, they get it in the zone bush. They have to speak up on it. They soon speak on it. Let us give us a chance.
Okay.
Just open the platform and say, all Madingo people should call that law process. You see millions of Madingo people will. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take another person again. Alhaji Senwa. Alhaji, good morning and welcome.
Thank you so much for the recommendation, people of Buaka. Good morning, leader.
Morning.
My name is Arahati Abdullah Sinwa. Let me first say thank you for the show this morning, and we appreciate you greatly. Leader, do not be depressed. The workings with the Madingo people over the years will judge you positively. And I'm waiting at Acquisition Very Skin of the Sarah for a company for your pending guest. We share best how to get good with him, and I will see as a role model because I'm going to learn how to Sarah exactly. And for a while you stay at the name, it's a serious motivation to me. So I look forward to hearing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in, Alaji. We take 2 more calls. Then we cross over to Costa to let's take Mohammed Kone. Like I said, I'm taking Suzo Mandingo Po the morning. Suzo Mandingo Po are taking the morning. Good morning, Mohammed. Welcome.
Good morning, Bwaka, and good morning to the Ryan Pedro Costa. My name is Mohammed S. Kone, and I've come from Johnsonville. We don't bother these political new checks in our politics. We don't know you to be a travelist. During my wedding, you raised over 1,300 on your show. I'm a Madingo man. You did that for Madingo man. Apart from that, you are not giving me popular assistance. Apart from that, I am the chairman of the spiritual youth wing. And everybody knows I am a Madingo man. Even in the youth wing, I even pray 4 o'clock in the office of the COP. Every time, every time prayer time reaches, I go and pray my 2 o'clock and my 4 o'clock in COP office. So that's tolerant we are, and that's tolerant you are in the GOP. And then ballot that time with such names, it cannot rest nowhere in Madingo community. I even did on live podcast yesterday, talking about my community. But some people cast our t-shirts in our community. They are hateful. But if you talk sometimes, they just there with you. The little live podcast I did yesterday, they call me, they started blasting at me. I said, no. For me, I don't believe in tribalism. I don't believe in racism. And because I'm behind somebody who doesn't believe in tribalism and racism, I'm following the person Christian. Predicated upon that, we know what leaders do in this country when we talk about Muslim holiday. Why should we use a platform to preach for Muslim holiday? Why should we use a platform to preach for Muslim holiday? You know Muslim. You use your platform several occasions. It is wrong. For Muslim people to be in our holiday, we need to get a one holiday. Thank you, leader. God bless you and save our state.
Let's take 2 more calls. Our brother from like I said, I'm taking so Muslims and Mandingo this morning. I'm doing it because of a reason. Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, good morning, brother Baka, and good morning, Daddy Happy Costa, the hero.
Yeah.
Morning, Sheikh, my son.
I'm Sheikh Jabate, and I'm calling you from Euro Spain.
Mr. Jabate, welcome.
Thank you, sir. And I just want to say, send this to our tribalists. People who claim, to say that Heron P. Costa is a tribalist. I call it Daddy Heron P. Costa, I'm a Madingo man. That means speak Madingo to you this morning, to our brothers.
Yeah.
And Nimi for Madima Benye. More for Heron P. Costa, Makava go tribalist. Ala ti jangata. Heron P. Costa say, Ala noble.
I mean,
I'm simply trying to say, all those who classify him to be a tribalist, may the curse of Lord be upon them. And anybody that try to devour us in our country, anybody who try to drag down the effort of Heron Costa in that country, may the curse of Lord be upon them. I serve in a COP as a secretary general for Euro chapter. I'm a Madingo man. Why Heron Costa can say that, oh, Sherry is a Madingo man, just serving a position. You understand? But we know them. We know their plan. You understand? Secondly, I want to use this opportunity to say we unveil the ACO leader, political leader, on Sunday. We want to say congratulations. The turnout was, highly welcoming, and we move on. Thank you ever so much for the opportunity.
Okay. Thank you so much.
That will be the last caller. And I like the fact that you decided to take calls only from our Mandingo brothers. So they will know. Oh my God, these people are it's just crazy. Are you kidding me? One of my favorite group of people that Mandingo people, then you can't talk about. I hate Mandingo people. Nonsense. But anyway, we're gonna go take our guest right now. We'll leave the politics for now. We'll take our brother, Jackson Jala Yoko. Brother Yoko, morning. But before you come on, permit me to just read a little bit into your background here in the U.S. in terms of some of the projects that you've worked on. Of course, Brother Yoko is currently pursuing a master's degree in construction engineering and management with focus on heavy transportation at the University of Texas at Arlington. He has a certificate from North Dakota State University in concrete assessment, evaluation, and repair for bridges, which he got in 2019. He got another certificate from the University of Oklahoma, U.S. National Weather Center, in hydrology and meteorology, flash flow forecasting in 2017. And of course, he got his bachelor's degree in civil engineering in 2014 from Stella Maris Polytechnic. He's got a number of professional certifications, concrete testing technician, American Concrete Institute, certified soil testing technician, certified nuclear gauge technician, certified nuclear gauge transporter, US DOT and IATA, that's the International Air Transport Association, certified heavy highway construction inspector, National Institute for Certification of Engineering Technologist, work experience. Brother Hugo, are you there? Hello? What guy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Brother Hugo is probably freezing.
Yeah, probably his internet.
Yeah, so if you can hear us, Brother Jackson Yoko, adjust your position. Perhaps it will improve your connection. So, and lead material quality control inspector at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Terminal construction is a $3.5 billion project, Wakai. Yeah, and this young man is the lead material quality control inspector. What that means is that his job is when they cast the concrete for the runway, the terminal, he goes there and he inspects the concrete to say whether the quality of the concrete is good enough. If he says the quality is bad, they got to move the whole concrete again. For a $3.5 billion project at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. The airport we used a few days ago, by the way. He's also the Hayden Ridge Dock, that's a Dallas area rapid transit rail station. It's a $10 million federally funded project. Project engineer for the geotechnical investigation of Dallas Love Field Airport, drilling of 60 bores for analysis, used for pavement design. I mean, this is a whole lot. Jackson Jala Yoko, are you there with us, Jackson? Yeah, man, what's happening with our man internet connection?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening this morning.
Yeah, we really want to talk to Jackson. I mean, he's a fantastic young man. I was very impressed when I met him. And I said, look, my man, we got to bring you on. These are the kind of people we need to come back home. I mean, the man, a lead quality control inspector at a $3.5 billion project. Jackson, is your connection better now?
Jackson, I think you can just go off and come back on and rejoin us and see.
Let me call you and tell you to do that. Let him log out.
Yeah.
Let him exit.
So let me see if we can take a few calls as he's doing that.
While we're trying to do that, yeah, but I can do that.
0770-102-102-86-010383. The WhatsApp number is +231 888 As we try to get our guests on, we can take like 1 or 2 calls this morning, and yeah, we'll have our guests this morning. Today is Tuesday, the 11th. That's the 11th month, the 23rd, 2021. We are already climaxing this year. Just next month, then we are done with this year. Then we get in 2022. 22. 2022 will be a very heated year because everything about the upcoming election in 2023 will be done in 2022. So let's this person. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
I'm okay. Your name is Johnny.
Thank you. This is Amadou Sabah calling for Central Town. No, let me tell you, thank you this morning. Those guys that are, so TVV, our you as travelers and this, SYNC, don't even know what to say. That's why we said that our station lose your value and they lose everything. That's why I can't sit down where get the beer, you can't talk about this and that, and as it do. What, you step for, no one can step for, I'm on my Digo guy. When somebody tell me go speak your dollar, is that require anything? When step you have to attack by Maybro, who stand on and Maybro, what is pressing today? Step you have to call Maybro, question, but go draw. Why do God say about here? That you have Costa step behind Chef Yaki for a passport business. That matter went to the court. We all know about that.
Yeah.
Here Costa step for Chef Yaki. If I shall let Maybro, said I want Maybro coin that is Chef Yaki, so to slap or more. When they go sit and spoon TV, they didn't know how to say it. It's not happening here. They didn't know how to say it. They'll be bringing Costa. Okay. They would never ever be like that man. They are jealous of him. And because as now, you must just get pressure feel good before you can put your money in our euro.
So, hello. So you say your name again? Okay, he called his name, but let's take. Okay, let me get Jetro. Then we'll show him.
Are you much better now, Jackson? Is your connection okay?
Good morning, Jetro.
Good morning, Buaka. Good morning, Henry Costa. Good morning to the people of Liberia.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, today we got a very good topic. When Costa started promoting those guys, I had a reservation on them. But again, I realized that it is also good. You see, especially for one of them, they call Sekou. I can recall, before Costa comes on the main show, he will be shouting with joy, "Oh, my man, Costa is coming on my show." I can assure you that I will have 500 plus viewers today. When the man comes on my show, it can be easy. I can't wait to have him now. That joy the guy will be expressing it as though Yami has lain in his home. Today to see him bow moving Costa, that is this service to the highest level. And even our brothers at Spoon, that's the same thing. They will want to have Costa every minute, every second.
Yeah.
But guess what, Costa, I don't want you to see it as bad. They are also being used to promote you the more. That is what's happening. And at the end of the day, they're going to realize it. And Spoon, why you think is that the government does not have a problem with you when you have the 3 radio stations? You look KMTV, the government has refused to give KMTV license. Do you know why? Because they felt like KMTV does not want to do business with them. Why is it that they don't want to have Bruce Cameron coming back? Why is it they don't want Post Chief and Post to be established? Because they feel like when those guys come on, they will be like torn in their flesh, the government. But why is it that Spoon, with all the radio stations, they are just relaxed and doing business? Because they are in there with the government. They are offering to someone who are material we are.
Okay.
They're fighting hard to protect their government. That's what they're doing. So they see when there are secret killing going on, they don't want to talk about that, but when they want to talk about Henry Costa. But they are promoting you also, bro.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you so much. Baga, hold on there. Let's see whether Jackson's connection is much better. Jackson. Hello? Jackson?
Yeah, can you get me?
Yeah,
yes, sir. Can you get me?
Yes, now we can. Yes. We can hear you. Can you hear Jackson?
Okay, thank you.
We can hear you now, Jackson, but can you hear?
I can hear you, but it's kind of
there's a little delay. I don't know why the delay.
Yeah, there's a problem. Jackson, perhaps we should do it via phone. What do you?
I can hear you,
think, man? Huh? Let's use the phone instead, Jackson.
I'm using my phone.
No, what I'm trying to say, we can do a phone call.
Use the computer or what?
Hello? Yeah, the connection is bad. It's not good at all. I don't know, maybe it's the internet, but let's use the phone. I mean, like I'm calling you now, I will just put it on speaker and then people will be able to hear you since they've already seen your face, of course. So yeah, so let's use the phone. So I'm gonna put it on nine and pass it through. Good morning, Jackson.
Good morning, Mr. Costa.
All right, go. We're very glad to have you. Boakai, can you hear Jackson?
None too well, but nothing just speak here. That was so can see.
All right, so Jackson, proceed. Let's see what up, Boakai, and our folks can hear you loud enough.
So my name is Jackson Jala Yoko, and my Liberian, of course, my Liberian trained engineer at Stella Maris for the decades. And I've been around with engineering for the past 10 years plus in Liberia and today in the U.S. state of Texas. I've worked in two major cities, the city of Dallas, and now I'm in the city of Houston. And I've worked on so many top-notch U.S. projects. Of course, the Dallas International Airport, the Silver Line Regional Rail Project is a new rail line that goes across 7 cities within the city of Dallas, and several other rail stations that I was serving as quality control engineer for in the city of Dallas. And right now I'm working in the city of Houston as a project manager with the Department of Transportation, Texas Department of Transportation, here down here in Galveston area.
That's impressive, Jala. I read your CV. It's very, very impressive. Now, Jala, you've been in the U.S. not for so long. I mean, you've been in civil engineering for a total of about 10 years now. Part of that time, you worked in Liberia, and now you're in the U.S. and you've been involved with some very major projects that you named the Dallas Fort Worth Airport Expansion Project, a new terminal project, a $3.5 billion project, and you serve as quality control inspector. Now tell us exactly, what does a quality inspector for such a project do? What is it you do?
So the quality control inspector at that level is responsible to inspect all work, all ongoing work. Your work is not to instruct how the contractor and all the subcontractors should do their work. You're not there to instruct the contractor on constructability. So what you're going to do is to check the standard of work that is being performed by the contractor. For example, they got specification on the soil treatment. What are the specifications on the soil treatment? Is the contractor adhering to the specification that is written in a book? So you are there as the eye of the owner of the project, the Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, of course. You are there to ensure that the contractor performs their work according to standards. That 1 inch, because working at the Dallas International Airport is the second largest international airport in America. So they want to make sure that air buses that are coming over there the place is well paid and the project is constructed according to specification. So you are there to check the concrete, the steel, the welding work, the sub base of the pavement, and every other work that is on there. You are there to check it and report on what the contractor is doing. If you observe any different as to what is written in the specification, the contractor is not adhering to compliance, then you have to report that and flag it out as fast as possible so that the contractor don't move forward, and then you have to come back and have it demolished.
Now, Jackson, you're a young man, 35 years old. I'm a few years older than you. And I say that as a compliment. How have you, in so short a period of time working in the U.S., managed to elevate to that level to be quality control inspector for a massive $3.5 billion project at the second largest airport in the United States, Dallas Fort Worth? How did that happen, Jala?
So it's first about, first thing I want to give God the glory. God's blessing first for my life, you know. When I came to the U.S. and I managed to get myself started in the system to get a work permit,
I went down to North Dakota and I worked with the Department of Transportation in North Dakota. That's working with U.S. government. So when you work with the Department of Transportation in America, that's like the top-notch institution for road construction and all other engineering activities in the state. So it gives you the leverage. They put you up there, so that when you apply into the system, when people see where you have worked, they're gonna call you for interview. So I was called by the company that was doing the quality control at the airport. When I applied, I was in North Dakota. I applied, and when I came to Dallas, they called me for interview, and I went and failed the interview. I performed excellently, and the guy who interviewed me went back on the internet. The hiring manager went back on the internet and went to LinkedIn, and I've used LinkedIn for the past 12 years, and my LinkedIn profile is all-star. That means that's a top-notch profile. So when you went there and saw my profile, you saw some of the things that I've done, like working with the United Nations, working with so many international institutions in Liberia, you was amazed that the person in interview is not making up story. So that's why I was invited again for another interview. And this time around, I found the interview, and I was assigned a truck, and I was given a position to go on the Dallas International Airport and start doing inspection.
Wow, that's very good. But one of the things you did when you came to the U.S., you didn't just rest on your oars. I mean, you didn't just rest on your laurels. Your experience from construction and civil engineering in Liberia, your degree from Stella Maris Polytechnic in civil engineering. You also went and got a number of certifications. Why did you do that?
So to work at that level, you're not going to tell somebody, say, oh, yeah, I do concrete inspection, I'm a concrete specialist. You have to go and get certified with these institutions, because if you don't see those certifications in your hand, you're not going to work at that level. You're not going to work at the Dallas International Airport, because they want people that have been certified and know this stuff, and gone through the exam and pass the exam successfully, and can implement whatever specifications that have been given by American Institution for Testing of Material and American Concrete Institute and several other work that the steel work, the steel, because most of the airport terminals is built with steel. So you're going to be inspecting how the steel is made. So you have to get certified for that. You cannot just go there and say, oh, I'm an inspector. Where do you come from? Where's the credential? Are you qualified to do inspection? If they don't see those things, they're going to ask you to leave the project.
Well, they're not even going to hire you in the first place, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not qualified.
So basically, Jackson, what you did here is you came to the U.S. and you said, you know what? I've got education from Liberia. I'm a civil engineer by training. I've got experience. I've worked on UN projects. I've worked on public works projects in Liberia. So I'm going to get certified in the heavy concrete. You went to the ACI, the American Concrete Institute. I didn't even know they had something called the ACI.
Oh yeah, that's a stand up for concrete work. So all these bridges you see, these overhead bridges you see across the state of Texas, and in so many states, they are being tested before those concrete are poured. They are being tested, because you're not going to pour a concrete over there that's going to fail. That's a major issue. Who tested the concrete? And if the person is not certified, they can take the person to the law or litigation. So they gotta make sure that that person is certified by the American Concrete Institute that sets the standard for quality of concrete for all infrastructure work, for pavement, for bridges, for airport runway, for you name it, for high-rise structure.
Now, clearly, Jackson, the experience you brought with you from Liberia, compared to the experience that you are garnering working on such major projects, this must be a huge shock for you. I mean, it's a huge difference. How does it feel working on these massive projects compared to, well, teeny weeny projects you work on in Liberia, relatively speaking or comparatively speaking?
I mean, when you work on these big projects, what it does that it exposes you and makes you brave. You're not going to be afraid of anybody coming from any part of the world anymore. When I return home, I don't know where that person is going to come from, but it makes me brave. It makes me, I'm exposed and have no fear to work anywhere, because that is like, if you work at Dallas International Airport, it's like you're playing in a World Cup in soccer. That's how it is, So you have that self-confidence.
You are in the Premier League now. The Premier League.
Exactly.
Now, Jackson, one of the things I picked up from talking with you about 2 weekends ago is your patriotism. All the stuff you're doing here, you're a young man, you've got your whole life ahead of you. You're currently, studying to get a master's degree. You're doing very well. You could live your life here and be okay. But you struck me as someone who is passionate about the motherland, and at some point you would like to deploy those skills and the knowledge you are gaining in the United States to the disposal of your country. Why is that?
I mean, I grew up right on the soil, Costa. We like you and I, we are kids that grew up through the world, and we've seen all of the challenges. I've gone across 14 of the 15 counties in Liberia, so I know the challenges across the country. So I know why our roads are failing. I know because I play with material a lot, construction material. Because people don't blend this material together, building roads is like making a recipe for a soup. You want to put the chicken soup, the pepper, the make it cake, to make the soup sweet. So if you don't have somebody who know how to blend those things together to get a solid structure for a road, you're not going to have good food. So I know that. And I see also the roads that have been designed. Unless we have a Liberian that can sit in the position of a designer and bring in international people who know how to do road design and control them and tell them what their country needs. We're always going to have poor road structure. We're always going to have bridges failing. So my passion is to come back home with all the experience that I've gotten, the different way that we do construction in the state of Texas, is to bring that experience back home and adapt the state of Texas standard for roads and bridges construction in our country. And even for airports, there's a huge possibility that our airport's going to expand. How we want to expand it? I see our airport, our foreign terminal, and I just learned that the pavement has failed. I know how to treat a pavement that is not going to fail. So I can come back with all of the experience in the next few years to contribute to our national growth. Because if we don't have Liberian leading these things, because I know that in past time has always been international people designing our infrastructure. But if we have Liberian designing it and leading the construction, because it's not just about design, the construction is one area that we make a lot of mistakes. We don't follow the construction procedure. And these things are simple because they got all the books that are available. How you should build the project, how you should execute the project. But we don't follow it in Liberia. I don't know where we get our own standard from. So until we can start employing international standard in our infrastructure construction, we're gonna experience failure of all our infrastructure.
I like that. Until we can standardize and follow the internationally accepted standard protocols in construction engineering, our public works infrastructure projects will fail. So beautiful. Jackson, look, I told you we're trying to build a team. We're trying to build a network of Liberians around the world, irrespective of political persuasions, and to keep in touch with them, because the time will come when their country will need someone such as yourself with the skills and knowledge you have acquired and continue to acquire. That Liberia will be in very dire need of those skills and knowledge. Thank you so much for coming on this morning and for talking to us and talking to other Liberians who may be afraid to step out and because they think that this is America and you're from Africa and maybe the education you have from Africa may not be good enough yet. They don't have that competitive edge or urge within them to want to compete and get in a new environment. In your conclusion, Jackson, and I want to tell you thank you for coming on and thanks for what you do, and we wish you best of luck. But in your conclusion, what message do you have for our brothers and sisters from back home who come to this country with knowledge and skills, and how could they improve upon those knowledge and skills in order to be able to take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that are available in this country?
I mean, the first thing my point is about to people coming from home with knowledge and skills, don't limit what you have learned. just come here and build upon it, because when you come, it's going to be difficult. If you apply, they're not going to just call you. You always have to rearrange your resume and continue to apply. Don't give up, because it took me almost like 3 months applying for different kind of jobs. And at the end of the day, in the last 3 months, I started getting calls from top institutions to prove who I am. So until you can sit by yourself and think it through what you want to be in America, you're not going to get there. If you listen to people that you met here, they're going to discourage you, because I was discouraged on many occasions that, oh no, you cannot make it at this level. But I know I can make it. The people that are there, they are no different. And so because when I started working, I proved that I was some of the best in what I was doing. So that's how you see I was working across the city of Dallas on top-notch projects. So if you prove yourself, they will give you the opportunity in America. Trust me, because it's all about business. You don't want to bring somebody into the business that can do it. Once you prove yourself, they will open the doors to you.
Thank you so much, Jackson, Jala, Yoko. We wish you the best of luck. Let's keep in touch. We're sorry the video connection was patchy, but we could not let you go without doing this interview by phone. The audio was great. Bwaga, you could hear Jackson very well, right?
Sure, yeah. It was good.
Very, very good. Jackson, thank you so much. We look forward to bringing you back on. Hopefully next time the connection will be much better.
Thank you, Mr. Costa. Thank you. There are several topics that we can delve into and discuss. And we can talk about project management procedures.
And that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Since we've introduced you to our audience, we're gonna bring you on from time to time as a guest commentator to just talk about a whole number of different types of infrastructure projects that are ongoing in the country, what we can do, and to try to break them down in. I know this is highly technical stuff, but to try to break it down in such a way that our people can understand, like what you just did. A great job, great presentation.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mara. Jackson Jala Yoko, there, a young Liberian professional, working at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, the second busiest airport in the United States after Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta. He is quality control inspector for a $3.5 billion terminal project, construction project. $3.5 billion. That is 2 times the entire GDP of Liberia.
Wow.
The real GDP, yeah. And this young man works there as one of their quality control inspectors. Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. And yeah, Baga, we should go back to the phone lines and take a few calls there. Ama Tukus Harris, happy birthday to you. Yesterday, I believe, was your birthday. From me, Henry Costa, and from our good friend and big brother, Abraham Kirie, our mutual friend and big brother, Abraham Kirie. So let me tell you the joke. So, I'm the ANC president, and I'm Joe Bwaga, and I'm not going to tell you who Kirie is for, but anyway, so he's a big brother of ours, and so, so one day, so Amma has this thing. She will go on my post, do my post about Joe Bwaga. She will go be writing on her AM. So I got mad at her, obviously, because we're friends, we're cool. So I just felt that she shouldn't be, you just feel that with certain people there should be a kind of an extent to how they can take you on in the public. So people, Abraham Kitty created a chat room, WhatsApp, to peace talk. I was somewhere call. And so Amma was like, but why are you getting mad that I would disagree with you? I said, no, I would disagree with me. But do it in the public. And she would just come from the blind side and she would just rest on it. And I would just get annoyed when I see her come. Like I would see everybody else would tell me all kind of things. When I read it, bother me. But she would say certain things to me. But she's a very wonderful person, very nice person. Yesterday was her birthday. Amma Stukus Harris, happy birthday to you. I hope you had a beautiful birthday. I hope Alexander Cummings sent you a message to say happy birthday. So all right. But this is the beauty, diversity of views and political persuasion, and we all don't have to be on the same side. ACOP. I want to talk a little bit about ACOP. ACOP, for those of you who may not know, in 1997, ACOP participated in the first first general presidential election with Professor Alhaji G.V. Nkrumah as the standard bearer, and he came third in that election. Charles Taylor came first, Ellen came second, and Alhaji Nkrumah came third. Although it was a distant third, but he still came third. That meant something. And then ACOP was around for a while, and ACOP went down. They really, really went down. Like, everybody felt like ACOP was nothing. And a few days ago, ACOP had a program. They've been involved in some efforts trying to rebrand and all kinds of stuff. And then they had a lunch. Was it a lunch, Baka, or they were
unveiling of their
political leader?
Political leader, yeah.
Yeah, Lucini Camara. And so they had a program where they were unveiling, and they had a very handsome crowd, a very, very impressive, handsome crowd. Lucini Camara has been named the political leader of ACOP. Lucini Camara, for those of you who do not know, was a finance minister during the Judy Bryan arrangement. Lucini Camara is in the insurance industry. That's what he is. He's a businessman. And Lucini Camara is I don't remember ever meeting him, but I know who he is. He's the political leader of ACOP. Now, ACOP is predominantly a Mandingo party. Just the other day, we were talking about it here on the show. And I see some people who are getting jittery when they saw that kind of crowd. The Mandingo vote is a very important vote.
Very, very important.
Very significant vote. And I will say this, and some people will get surprised about what I'm about to say, but just listen to it. And I told a friend of mine yesterday who spoke, Sheikh Sakor. Sheikh Sakor is a big ACOP man. He's been very supportive of ACOP behind the scenes. Sheikh himself is a businessman. But I'll say this to you. ACOP, the base, the constituency is the Mandingo community. A big chunk of votes. If they play it right, if they organize themselves right, I'm not saying all Mandingo people will go and join ACOP, but if they organize it right, they can have a seat at the table. They can have leverage to negotiate in the interest of their community. Now, there's nothing wrong with organizing yourself as a minority community, a community that feels discriminated against. There's nothing wrong with holding together and using that bargaining chip to negotiate for your community. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I support it. I embrace it. And I told my brother this yesterday. I said, go read, and I'm saying it publicly to you all, go read this piece of history that I'm about to share with you. In 1960, there was a very important presidential election in 1960. Wakai. I hope all the Mandingo people are listening to me. I say all Mandingo people should go join ACOP, but I'm just saying something. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. In the 1960 United States presidential election, there was a young man running for president. He was a United States Senator, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. He was 43 years old, or just about 42 at the time. He had served in the United States Navy, was a war hero. His father was a bootlegger, Joseph Kennedy. John F. Kennedy was a Roman Catholic. No Roman Catholic had ever become president before. In fact, it was thought that no Roman Catholic would ever become president. Yes. But Kennedy started running for president. He was, some people said, too young, and then he was a Roman Catholic. That election was very critical. It was during the height of the civil rights struggle in America. This is when the likes of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, this is when they were fighting for what? They were fighting for civil rights in America. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy, who would become the Attorney General in his brother's government and the most powerful man in the government, Kennedy would win the election by a narrow margin. In fact, the narrowest margin in American presidential history. I believe about 500,000 votes. Yeah. My man, the margin was very narrow, Bogart.
Wow.
Very, very narrow, I'm telling you. Very narrow. But John F. Kennedy won. He defeated Richard Nixon, who was vice president. He beat him. But you know what the Kennedys did? Robert F. Kennedy and his brother John F. Kennedy went to Dr. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was the leader of the black people in America. They said to King, King, we want to make a deal with you. If you can mobilize the black vote and support us, when we come to power, we will give you something. Listen, boy. Listen, what did Martin Luther King and his people want? Civil rights. They wanted the end of segregation. They wanted the end of official discrimination. And so Kennedy struck a deal with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King met with all his people and said, look, let's get our people out to register to vote so that we can vote for who? For John F. Kennedy. Because our vote will be important. Because you know what? The election was a close election. So the people in the middle, that's when you are important.
Yes.
When two people are fighting and the race is tough, you in the middle, anywhere you throw your weight, that is how we win.
Yeah.
My man, the way black people voted in 1960, you know. That's how John F. Kennedy won the damn election, When Kennedy won the election, Kennedy began to deliver on what he promised Martin Luther King, the Civil Rights Act. It was his mission. But then Kennedy was assassinated on November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas, Texas. When Kennedy was assassinated, his vice president took over, Lyndon B. Johnson. Johnson said, I will complete what Kennedy started. In July 1964, I believe it was July 27th, Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act into law. He signed it that day. He took the pen that he signed the document with, which is a custom, and gave the pen to Martin Luther King right there in the White House. July 1964. Why am I saying this? The Muslim Mandingo people want something in Liberia. They want a number of things. You have a vote. You can use that vote to get it. I know some people will not like me saying this because it's not really politically astute for me to tell people to come together and push for their interests. I don't care. That's Henry Costa. Because there's something I believe in. They know I'm a friend of the community. Organize yourselves. Don't let people sell your vote for money. Do not sell your support for money. Use your vote and extract what you want for your community. That is what you should do. The black people did it in 1960. The black people did it in 1960. You there is nothing wrong with the Mandingo people doing it in 2023. Allah,
nope.
Thank you. So I told my brother, I said, go and read. Go and read what happened in 1960 in America. And you will understand that when you mobilize yourself and you come together, you can use your vote to get, as a result of that collaboration, that arrangement, that deal they struck with Martin Luther King, it led to what? The Civil Rights Act of 1964. Even though Kennedy had died, had been assassinated, but his efforts led to his vice president who took over from him went ahead and did it. So the same way too, I've said it. I want the Fula people in Liberia, who've been there forever, to be officially recognized as a tribe in the country. Because when you list the tribes in Liberia, when you were in grade school, civics, did you ever learn that the Fula, they are recognized as a tribe in Liberia?
Nope.
No. When I was in grade school too? No. They never. I want the Fula tribe to be officially by law recognized as the 17th tribe. What did they tell us? They said we got 16 tribes. Except my civics, my recollection of the civics we learned in school.
Have changed. Probably have changed, so somebody can tell.
That's somebody can tell us, because we have not been in grade school for long. But let them just tell us. But as far as I'm concerned, the Fula people are not officially recognized as a Liberian tribe. But I want that. Look, you see this country, America was not built by people who, America was built by people who came here, America, they have this policy, they thing in America called the melting pot theory, You know what a melting pot is? A big pot sitting on a fire, and you're throwing all these different things in it, and it's just melting together and becoming something new, Social cohesion, assimilation, acculturation, to build a strong Liberia, a prosperous Liberia. We must embrace all of our people. Fula people who've been there forever. Mandingo people who've been there since King Salboso. The oldest Mandingo chiefdom in Liberia is in Kwaruboni.
Yeah.
You understand? Go read your history. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with ACOP coming together and saying we want to hold together and we want to become one, so that we can go to the table and negotiate. Nothing is wrong with that for their interests. So I encourage you all, hold together, but don't sell out for money. I'm watching y'all. If I see y'all go sell out for money, then that time will go against y'all. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with ACOP revamping.
Okay, so
reorganizing and rebranding. Go ahead.
I want to come in. From me, for me, from our little understanding, the rebranding of ACO is welcoming, and I must appreciate all those that behind the rebranding of ACO, and the crowd they put up this gone weekend was massive. I must appreciate them for that. But what I'm observing now is that the issue about ACO reburning and coming back with force may likely have a little effect on the JMB votes, because JMB supporters are 100%. The Muslims are 100% in support.
Finish making a point, Baga. You struck a good point. I spoke Mohammed Corner yesterday. He made a point to me, but go ahead.
Yeah. The Muslims are 100% in support of.
I would say 100%. I would say about 80-85%. They support Joe Boakai. Yeah.
Yeah. They support Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai. So now the rebranding of ACO will take away certain portion of JMB votes from the Muslim community, most especially the Mandingos, and that becomes a problem. That become a problem. So like I said previously, we welcome the rebranding. It's good to rebrand your party and come back with force. But where would they stand? Will it be a divided ACO? Because some will say, okay, ACOs were rebranded because certain folks that we know that have been supporting the Congress for Democratic Change are now the one helping to rebrand ACO. And some folks
who we are concerned about. Look at people like Ali Sira.
Yeah.
Who is a well-known citizen hanging around.
Sure. That's one aspect of that's one aspect of it, Costa. And will this ACO be divided? Because there will be some people saying that okay, we want to we want us go over to CPP, we want us go over to CDC, we want us go over to X, Y, and Z political party if there is a runoff. There where the entire ACO will be divided. But for now, let us look at the ACO Muslims and Mandingos and also JMB supporters, because the JMB supporters are anyway. Even
most Mandingos support Joe Boakai. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Boakai, you are 100% right. 100%. The Mandingo people support Joe Boakai overwhelmingly. But this rebranding or revamping of ACO, it takes away from Joe Boakai's support base.
Yeah.
But here is where I come from. The Mandingo people feel, or at least a great many of them feel, that they have their interests. And whenever they push their interests, the majority of political actors or other tribes in the country do not work toward addressing their interests. So their coming together cannot be a bad thing. I will never sit down here, Boakai.
Yeah.
Why I share your concern that they're coming together and possibly fielding a candidate for president who we know will not win the presidency.
Sure.
A Lieutenant Kamara Ranger now as Senator ACO, he cannot win. And not because he's Mandingo, but because they don't have enough votes to win, period. But why I'm concerned about them coming together and the potential taking away of votes from Joe Boakai, but I cannot say that they don't have the right to come together, Boakai. It is their right to come together.
Yeah,
it is their right to rebrand their party.
Yeah.
What I am concerned about, however, Boakai, is the direction in which they go. If they run, now, a friend of mine told me yesterday that they intend to run for president in 2023. Of course, they cannot win, but they will take a huge chunk of votes. Those votes will not stop Joe Boakai from going to the second round. It will not stop Joe Boakai from going to the second round. When we go to the second round, ACO will now have a bargaining chip to go to the table. Now, Joe, we don't be throwing money around, Boakai clearly. I know we will get more votes than Joe we are. If there's a second round, Boakai will be on top. Clearly, Boakai will be on top. But my point is this. When we go to a second round, which is very likely, and ACO decides, or even if the ACO leadership does not decide to support Joe Boakai, the base of ACO, Boakai, that base will support Boakai. Because naturally, that's where they would be anyway. Also, there are many Mandingo people who will not go join ACO. Don't get it twisted. Not all of them going to go join ACO now. Many of them are supporting Joe Boakai. They're not going to leave Joe Boakai to join ACO. Not that they're against ACO, but they realize that ACO cannot win Georgia. You know, some people just not vote for you because not that they're against you, but they feel like, why waste my vote on Boakai? Boakai can win. I mean, I'm talking about you now, Boakai Kamara. They will say, why should I waste my vote on George Ware? George Ware cannot win. I'd rather vote for somebody who can win, even though George Ware is my own man, but he cannot win. So my point here is, ACO will get, from what I saw and the momentum I've seen in the Mandingo community toward ACO, the rebranding, we're hearing all kinds of things. I hope it is not true. And I asked my friend this yesterday, Sheikh Sakor. We're hearing that Musa Ability has gone there and has offered to give them money to help with the rebranding and all that kind of stuff. Now, Musa Ability does not care about the interests of the Mandingo community. He does not care about the interests of the Muslim community. Musa Ability only cares about who? Musa Ability. You see? So there are a lot of Mandingo people who support Joe Boakai that will not leave Joe Boakai to go support ACO. Not because they don't like ACO, but because they feel that ACO cannot win. And they need to win. And they think Joe Boakai is the guy who will win and who can lead the country well. So there are lots of interesting things here. There are lots of interesting factors at play, Boakai. I will not sit down here and say the Mandingo people should not organize themselves and they should not do that, they should not do that. You know, they should be they have the right to organize themselves. They have the right to form to rebrand their party, and they have the right to go to the table and negotiate for their interests. They're very right. So, I think so. They have their right, but at the same time, we're watching them very closely. If they try to go over the door, and I'm telling the public, I want them to hear me. We all are suffering in the country, including our Mandingo brothers and sisters. If those of you who had ACO sit down there and think that you can go sell out the door, we have a small money for yourselves, I will attack you. I will not care whether you Mandingo man go smile, oh, the attacking Mandingo people. I can attack Pele man here. I deal with my own country people here, Pele people, Congo people. I can deal with it right here. So I will not talk about you because before you feed back or that I'm attacking your community. If you who are the leaders of ACO want to go and do business with Jawia for money business, I will attack the leadership. And the people will move from behind you. We all say Mandingo support us. So you know, the thing about the team, guy, one person cannot get all the people. I get Mandingo supporter, I get Pele supporter, I get Crown supporter, I get everybody supporter. They have the right to run for president. That's what I'm saying. Those who are saying that they should not organize, they should not rebrand, I disagree with them. It is the right.
Is that right?
Party to be active, to participate in their country's politics, it is their right. But when people like Ali Sila, who sold out to Rawa Salih, you remember? United Party took Ali Sila and made Ali Sila the candidate for United Party for Senate in 2014. What Asanama Swan did, boy? Asanama Swan went and took money from Raul Salih and said he had medical reason he was coming to America. That's what he did. They took Ali Sila and made him candidate for Montserrat County for United Party. He took some more money from Raul Salih and came to America. The next thing we know, what did they do? They sent him to Qatar. They gave him Qatar. That Qatar or the Kuwait?
Qatar.
Thank you. So Ali Sila has no credibility. He sold out. How can a party take you? The ruling party made you their candidate in a Senate race. You sell out and you embarrass the party. And you know why he sold out? Ali Sila sold out after the party had advanced his name. Because of that, UP could not field a candidate against Rob Salih.
Yeah.
Ali Sila left just in time when it was too late to replace him. Unity Party forfeited their right to participate in that Senate election because of what Ali Sila did. So that Ali Sila, I'm told Ali Sila is trying to tell them he's working for the government, for CDC. He's trying to get them to go to CDC.
Yeah, but he stayed there at Qatar. He stayed representing the government there.
Oh, the government stay kept in Qatar.
Yeah.
There you go. The man are citizen. At least that's citizen. You see? So my point is, the Mandingo people have the right to form their party or to revamp their party. The Mandingo people have the right to participate in their politics. Nobody might tell them say, don't run because when you run, you honor my Joe Baga. No, that's not politics there, Baga. You can't tell me say, don't eat cassava in your house because you my neighbor, you might tell me what kind of soup to eat to my house. Because you not like cassava, I'm not eat it to my house. So you can't tell the Mandingo people say, don't form your party or you don't run because when you run, you honor my Joe Baga. Support Baga. But at the same time, I can't tell somebody say, abandon your right to participate in your country's politics because if you participate, it will embarrass us. No, Baga, I'm sorry, I can't say that to the Mandingo people. The only thing I can say, I'm watching their leaders. I'm watching their leaders to see who they will do business with. You have a constituency, hold together, and use it as a bargaining chip to go to the table to get a deal for your community. Not job, not government job. There are things the Mandingo people want, the Muslim people want. They're not just looking for government. How many people get joined the government? We're looking for things that will benefit the larger community and not a few individuals. That is what I can tell you. The Adam Cisse case, but let's talk about it quickly before we go. Tomorrow we'll talk about it in depth. Adam Cisse, Kaba ruled. Justice Kaba ruled against Adam Cisse. The man went to the court, Supreme Court, and asked for the Supreme Court to grant him an investigative survey. Justice Kaba ruled and denied the man's request for an investigative survey. And he said to the man, go and negotiate with the woman's lawyers. The lawyers are asking for $50,000. But should Justice Kaba be telling the man to go negotiate? Is that a business? But you go to court and you ask a judge, Your Honor, so Clark Williams is claiming that my land belongs, or a portion of my land that I'm on belongs to her. She's asking me to pay her money. I'm saying no. Look at this check to the guy telling me, say, Ali Silad and not Sidishan. What wrong with the guy?
You know, some of them don't follow the border politics in our country.
Check, so do you live under the rock? You didn't see the last time Shaq was hanging out with Joey was praising the man. You remember that video?
Yeah.
And then Joey was putting more on me and say, I lie on you, all kind of thing. Look at that man. Do you live under a rock? Or you come and defend him because he's your kinsman? Because that's what some of y'all can do. You think I'm going after Shaq? After Ali Sila, Ali Sila did something in politics that no single political party will ever get Ali Sila any ticket to run on. Unity Party gave the man a seat to run on. The man sold a seat and went to America. In 2014, they got about going after Ali Sila is wrong. Ali Sila has no spine. He's a sellout. Now how Rob Sali told Eli Iman to get in that job in Qatar. So stop that thing, man. Ali Sila, 1 for in CDC, 1 for in ACOP. Those are the people ACOP needs to look out for. The likes of Ali Sila.
And not only Ali Sila, you know the present lawmaker, Mariam Fofana.
Oh, I don't want that.
That's the city she's doing now. You can see her in the CDC caucus meeting.
Yeah, then she tell her to go to ACOP.
Yeah, that's how she's looking now. She got.
So you see, when they start doing that, how you think some people trust them? You won't be sheep, be sheep. You won't be good, be good. You can't be good sheep. You can only be one.
Because you know what she did? Okay, here's a story about her. I don't know, but we're having, but she told her chief of office staff that, oh, I will run 2 times. I will go for 2 elections, and after winning the 2 elections, I will prepare you to go and represent me at the house. You will take my position. Okay, they came out to an agreement, and the men have been there with her for the past years. Helping her to win elections. Because the guy is popularly known in the Mandingo community in Kwaduboni. Yes. So Musa Kole. So now this going election, the man say, "Oh, madam, I'm ready now. The thing we promise is time now for you to prepare me for the upcoming election." The moment when she sorted, she said, "No, I'm not ready yet. I'm going for 2023. You have to wait up until 2023." And when the man keep talking about it, what she did, she fired the man from her office. She took the man from her office. Now the man is not in her office. And the double standard game she's playing, she's with ACOP and with CDC. Attempt CDC functions and go at ACO. Now she's in between because she don't know which one a ticket not to run on in Lofa. So she had to be playing the middle game. That's what she's doing.
And she represented Kwaduboni in the house, right?
Yes. District number 4, Lofa County.
She's a hell of a woman. Hello, woman, she also. So yeah, that's my word of advice. But let's just go back to this thing I'm talking about Yusuf Kabah. Our time is up. What Yusuf Kabah did to Brother Adam Sise is just wrong. Okay? It's just wrong. Adam Sise asked for an investigative survey. Give me an investigative survey. You are the Supreme Court Justice in Chimba. The man want an investigative survey. Then you tell the man, no, I will not give you a survey. Go and negotiate with the woman lawyers. Is it the Supreme Court Justice that should be telling the man to go and negotiate with the lawyers to pay the woman $50,000? Why? Is that the place of the Supreme Court Justice?
No.
My people, my friends who are lawyers, please tell me, should the Supreme Court Justice be telling the man to go and negotiate with the woman's lawyers? Rule on the basis of the merit of the case. It is not a place to tell a man to go negotiate. What? He denied the man justice because he told the man, go, I got the ruling right here. He denied the man justice. He telling the man to go negotiate. That you supposed to tell the man to go negotiate? That your business? You see that? Adam Sise, he lost his mother-in-law. A week ago. His wife and his son, they are currently in Monrovia. They came from Europe. They can't live in their house. The house that he built. They can't live in the house. Can you imagine? The family is bereaved, but they can't live in their house. Why? Can you imagine that? The man telling the man say, I'm sorry, but go negotiate with the woman's lawyers. Wow. Can you imagine that, boy? The man asking for survey. You say you can't get a man survey, but the man go negotiate. This is sad. Thank you, folks. God bless you. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye.